Hello and welcome to the Kenneth Vercammen Law Office Legal Podcast. This edition, we're talking about doing proper estate planning because the studies are over 70% of Americans foolishly don't properly set up estate plans. You know, maybe they're planning on never dying. Maybe they're trying to hide. You remember those ostriches in the cartoons used to stick their head into the sand so they could ignore stuff. So, so the most important thing to start with is a last will and testament. So, in the event of your death, let's see who will handle your affairs. That's the person in the will called the executor. With this document, the executor is authorized to pay your debts and then do what needs to be done. Just because you're married, your spouse doesn't automatically have any right to do anything. Your executor will be given the power to sell real estate, to negotiate any debts, and do whatever you could do legally. So, also, it's important that the executor will hire an attorney to make sure that the inheritance tax is prepared and that everything is done legally. The executor is not required to have background into law. That's why they hire an attorney. Just like they'll also hire sometimes an accountant. If the house needs work, they don't need to know electrical work. You hire an electrician for that. So that's important. Also, in your will, you got to think about if you have children that shouldn't get money outright because they may be disabled or they could be alcoholics or have drug or mental health issues. So things that you have to think about. But without having the document, people just the state law determines who gets the money, and that's oftentimes not proper planning. In addition, if there's minor children and there's no will and both parents are gone, a total stranger decides who gets custody of children, who would be the superior court judge. So the important thing is try to avoid these court battles and make sure that there's a proper will that's not only prepared but properly signed. That's why the surrogate says don't wing it and try to do it yourself. Lastly, let's see, make sure that executor 1, executor 2 know where your original will is at. Dying without a will often sets the stage for nasty and lengthy court battles, and that's stuff that you want to avoid. For more information on wills and probate, visit website njlaws.com, and for assistance and representation in probate and estate matters, contact Ken Vercammen's office at 732-572-0500. Thank you.